Hey everybody, I hope that you're all doing well. The first card that we have out is the World. The second card is Eight of Swords. And Nine of Cups. We have the World, Eight of Swords, Nine of Cups. With the World, it can be the start of something here. It can be the start of a new contract. It can be a new cycle of some sort. When we have Eight of Swords, we can feel a little bit unsure. We can feel a little bit stuck. We can feel a little bit frozen. I'm also seeing the Nine of Cups there. It's funny because it seems like this actually may be something that you wanted. Like having the Nine of Cups there, this is a card that shows us like actually something that we want materializing, and having the World there too can be like an exciting new chapter that we're starting. But it can be something that you're really like thinking about a lot, to the point where you can kind of feel a bit stuck here. You can kind of feel a bit trapped mentally. Maybe this is you not being in a place where you feel fully present to what's going on. Like you may actually enjoy what's happening here. And it can also be something at the same time where you feel, maybe you feel nervous too. Eight of Swords doesn't have to be anything like really intense. I mean, it can be, but it can be for a moment. It may also just be like, wow, I feel nervous about this, or wow, I'm feeling really uncomfortable, or wow, I'm like so stuck in my head that I'm not like really being present to the moment here. So that can also be something going on too. It feels like when you get what you want, but then you can be like, I don't know, almost like it's not totally hitting. Okay. Some time of anxiety is coming to an end, and some time of being stuck where there like may not have been a solution is coming to an end. Could have possibly been something that you didn't want to happen, but at the same time, I feel like this births you into a moment where you can have things happen that you actually want. I'm seeing Magician be connected with Nine of Cups. So this is about thinking about your intention, not just like in a mental way. This is like when I connect with my soul here, and I'm saying like, what do you want to experience? What does that look like? What is that vision? And having the World here feels like this is actually a chapter where you can make that happen. And I feel too like maybe you've been, I don't know, maybe you've been a little bit weird about things coming to an end. Maybe there's been a little bit of a resistance here, but I also feel too like some type of anxiety is closing out too. Like something you've been worried about is closing out. Like something you've been stuck within is closing out, and it's freeing you up so that what you want can come through. But maybe something had to end so this can begin. That can be part of it as well. Whatever this is, I'm seeing you move through it quickly. We have Eight of Wands here. So something happens and I feel like it sets you up for a very clear direction. It's kind of like you're freed up. You don't have to be working on something anymore. Because with the Magician and the Ten of Swords, this can be something that's been kind of grueling that you've been working through. And it can also be something that was taking a lot of energy, but it wasn't finished yet. And so you couldn't really, I'm hearing oscillate. I don't know, maybe something about moving through the energy, and maybe something about some type of back and forth that was going on here. Having that Ten of Swords feels like actually a relief, because as the Magician, this is you wanting to create and do things. Having the Ten of Swords can be something that actually was a dead end, but now you're moving through that. So we have the Eight of Wands. So as I said before, I feel like this very much sets you up for where you want to go. So you're freed from whatever that wasn't allowing that to happen. I feel like this is something getting out of your way. Seeing something about chocolate cereal. I'm also hearing Roanoke. Interesting. Okay, we have 2 of Pentacles. Death card is coming out, but it kind of flipped around. There could have been a debate whether to close something out or not. When death is reversed, I kind of see it as something like possibly coming back to life. So maybe you've revived something. Or maybe you're trying to figure out how to revive something here. This can possibly be an old manifestation of yours. Yeah, this 2 of Pentacles, looking at the card, it looks like somebody that they're in the middle of something and they're like, how do I figure this out? Or how do I do that? I'm getting that kind of vibe from this. So I'm seeing you have your hands full here, but also too, having 9 of Pentacles, I feel like you're in a good spot to be doing this. And I also feel like you've been being provided with what you need in order to do this as well. I'm getting something about like refurbishing that's coming through. It feels like a word that has re in front of it, where it's like redo, refurbish, like redesign. There's something that's going on here where it feels progressive, and at the same time it almost feels like a reworking simultaneously that's happening as well. It's like to shape something into the shape that you want it to be taking, but you have a hand within this, within what's happening here. Having Saturn, I feel like, is what naturally the universe is handing you, like the supplies and the material. The Magician is about your own genius here, of what you do with that and how you work with that. 2 of Pentacles is going to be how you work with these energies together and figure it out. Like, these are the materials that Saturn is giving you. You don't get more than that. You don't get less than that. Here, this is for you. Make what you want out of it, but you have only that to make out what you want. The Magician is going to be that, well, with these supplies, let me figure out what I want to create here. And you are like the grand creative here to be doing something with. 2 of Pentacles will be that when you put this into action and you get things going, what you're actually doing. And initially, I'm seeing 8 of Swords. You could have felt kind of stuck, but then I'm seeing you don't feel stuck anymore. Something happens where maybe at first when the universe hands you something, you're like, I don't know, it's like maybe you feel like you're more easily in flow, or you know what to do usually, but in this circumstance, maybe you just got like stage fright a little bit. It feels kind of like that to me, but then I'm seeing that end, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm the Magician. It feels like one of these moments here where you like maybe forgot yourself a little bit, but only to remember once again. And then we have the 9 of Cups, which feels like, wow, I can make something that I want out of this. I just figured out what I needed to figure out, what I needed to do in order to have this happen. And I feel also too like the only thing that was getting in your way was up here, because this feels like a mental block. It doesn't feel like it was a block within the circumstances. It feels like it specifically had to do with like the way that you were perceiving this, because the only thing that was getting in your way, it was air energy. So this is just about your perception. So that was actually the block. Because I'm seeing 9 of Cups be here. So like you can make what you want from this. The only thing that was getting in your way was you. It was your air energy. So this can mean your throat chakra needed to be moving around in some way that it wasn't before with the 8 of Swords. But then 10 of Swords feels like it wipes that clean. And now you're getting somewhere. We have 9 of Cups and we have 8 of Wands, which feels like I have what I want. I'm moving in the direction that I want to be moving into. And where are you moving? Right into the 9 of Pentacles, which is a really fantastic place to be. And it's one where you go from Saturn, which gives you like almost next to nothing. It's the way that Saturn works is that it gives you like the bare minimum of what you need. But if you use everything strategically and correctly, and you put in the time, the work, the energy, you can make something amazing come of it, and it actually ends up being exactly what you want, but you have to be smart with the way that you do it. And it also requires that some like consistency from you too. So it only gives you what you need to create like exactly what you want, and you have to use it the way that it needs to be used. Use it appropriately. It's like you want a garden and you're handed the seeds, and it's like exactly as many as you need to create the garden that you want, but you have to take care of them. You have to water them. You have to know where to place them and what may come and like try to eat it or steal it away. You know, like you have to know how to tend to the garden in order for you to work with it. And you may have just looked at what you were handed from by Saturn and been like, this is what you're giving me? I wanted a garden. But it feels like Saturn's like, I am giving you a garden. You have to do these things. You have to put in the work as the magician, which is that part of you that is the conduit for what you want. This is the part of you that understands how to take a vision and bring it into form. And that's what the beauty is of having both magician and the world here. This sets you up to do exactly that. But you also have to go through the necessary changes. And because the Death card is the only zodiac major arcana that we have here connected with Scorpio, what this means is that it's on an internal psychological level. That's where that shift is happening. It's something spiritually that's going on here. And that it delivers what you want, but you have to go through the process, which is like anywhere where you're blocking yourself, anywhere where you're not letting go. Because Scorpio is fixed water, which is just like, it feels like an oxymoron to have fixed water, because water is meant to be fluid, and to have it be fixed can be like the retention, the way that we hold on to things. And it's like going down the same channel every day, and needing to create those new like neural pathways here within this, those new channels, new perspective, new network that you are creating. And that this actually leads to the Nine of Pentacles, which is everything you want, everything you need. Nine of Pentacles is a card of abundance. It's setting yourself up so that things can be overflowing and overwhelming in the best way. So things can be, there's a word that I'm looking for here. It's like when things are lush and things are full, it's that type of feeling to it. And it's not only externally, it's also that feeling internally of like, I have all the resources here as well, like within me as well. It's not just external resources, it's this feeling that I have what I need. It's the acknowledgement of that. It's the recognition of that. But I had to get out of my own way. So it feels like this is a time where you're moving through blockages that you've been having. Again, not related to your environment, because I'm seeing you've been being given what you need in your environment. It was about some type of issue with your Mercury energy, which is going to be the way that you're seeing things. Just like the being handed the seeds and you're like, this isn't a garden. And it's like, well, think about it and you'll understand that this actually, the garden will come from this. But there's that need to look more closely in order to understand that. Because yeah, it could have been like confusing at first. You're like, what am I, that's what I'm getting with the Two of Pentacles. It's like, what am I supposed to do with this? And it's like, little do you know, if you like really look at it, you'll see you're being handed exactly what you want. You just have to take care of it. See something too about like fighting through a time of confusion. Maybe there's been something going on here. I see like a lot going on mentally, and it could have had you feel not sure of maybe like physical direction to go in. A lot of stuff that's been being sorted out. But then I'm seeing ultimately it does get figured out and you move past this successfully. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I'd like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.